Hey, it's Jeff with ID10T Garage, and we're back working on the 53 F250 for the Hot Rod Power Tour. In this episode, we're going to go ahead and finish up the rear end, make sure we got it good to go so we can actually take it for a test drive and make sure this rear end is actually working the way we need it to for the Power Tour. I'm going to change out the belt and the tensioner and, just take it for a test drive. So, let's get to it.
In my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stop.
All right, we're back out here, about to start torque specking all our bolts on the rear end. So I'm still waiting on stuff as always. Like I think it's not going to be here until probably Monday of next week. So got a couple days to wait for my rear seal, and I got springs and insulators coming tomorrow. I decided just to go ahead and buy everything new. That way I can just make sure that this rear end is good to go. So, but like I said, time to torque spec everything and get it ready. All right, so we got everything torque spec'd in place. There's a few things that went ahead and put my brakes back on, got my e-brake cables ran. I still got to put the shocks on and torque spec up the sway bar, but both my upper and lower stabilizers, my Watts link is all torque spec'd. So the majority of everything is done there. Just gotta tidy things up. Like I said, get the springs in, get the drive shaft in, and then once I get the springs in, I can go ahead and put my shocks on, then tighten up my sway bar and get the seal and oil in it. So, well, that's a day for me. Here we go again. So I got new springs and new isolators. So I'm about to probably put these in after I put the drive shaft in and just see where it sits. The isolators are a little thicker, and because they're new springs, maybe it'll be up a little bit more and I won't need the spacers. I doubt it, but hey, fuck it. Let's put them in and see what happens. So that's what we're doing. Later. she's back on her own weight. So got the wheels on, and it looks to be, with the new springs and new insulators, that we're about where we were. So I don't think I need my 1-inch spacers to make up the difference. So I think the spring's just a little bit stiffer, and the insulators were a little bit thicker in comparison to what I was seeing before. They're close to a 1/4 inch thick on each one of my insulators, where these other ones are a lot thinner. So that might have made the difference for me. But it's all Moog parts. Everything's tightened up to spec. So all right, now all we have to do is get the differential cover gasket on and fill her up with gear oil, and we can test this bad boy out. Hey everybody, we're back. Getting ready to do some work on the engine bay. So we need to replace the belt and tensioner in this thing. It's pretty much just something else I got left to do before the trip. Still waiting on my seal for the rear end, so we'll get to that here in a couple days. But in the meantime, like I said, belt, tensioner, about to replace that. Pretty simple stuff. And I need to replace my battery, so I'll take care of that. Here we go. Well, that was a waste of time. I have the wrong part. So I ordered the right part on Amazon, and they sent me the wrong part number. So now I've got to ship it back and get the right one and wait. So in the meantime, I'm going to put the new belt on with the old tensioner. So, all right, back to work. Alright, so we got our new belt on with the old tensioner, and it's not squeaking anymore, so it might have actually just been my belt. I'll still probably replace the tensioner, or at least I'll probably take it with me on the road trip. Also put my new battery in. I've got to get a new negative terminal because it's not clamping down good, so I'll be buying that and installing it. But other than that, we're done. So it's just a matter of the rear end. It's the biggest roadblock we have onto this road trip. So, all right, later. All right, the time is now. I just finished installing the rear seal and getting the gear oil in it, for I'm about to go for a test drive to see if this rear end is worth a shit. This is a big deal, so I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. I don't know how it's going to turn out because, you know, it's a camcorder. It's going to be bouncing around probably, but we'll see. far so good. I haven't heard any crazy noise. It is pulling a little bit when I brake, but you know, you never know with that. So far so good. Well, we test drove it. It seems to be doing good. I'm freaking out about a couple of things here and there, but I don't think it's anything really. I'm just paranoid at this point. Got anxiety about it because of the junkyard rear end. So I guess we're just going to have to take it and see how we do. So, all right, later. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning into this week's episode. We got our test drive in and tested out the rear end. Got a couple little things I want to just double check. Gonna take it for some longer drives just to make sure it's gonna work the way we want it to for the power tour. I got a new belt on the car because my tensioner wasn't the right one. I got sent the wrong part number despite ordering the right one, so waiting on that. So we'll probably pick that up. Got a couple of other little things. I need to weld on a support rod to the front of the frame. This is so if we do break down, we can be towed, because the frame was chopped in the front of this Crown Vic, so there's no support bar where they could hook and pull it up on a flatbed. So I need to take care of that too. But hey, we're getting there. We're, I think, 11 days away from departure to head to Memphis for the first part of the tour. But anyways, like always, do what everybody tells you to do. Subscribe, comment, like, look at my other videos, and we'll see you next week.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping out.